Have you ever walked into an IKEA store just to grab one small item, then looked at your watch and realized an hour had passed? You're not alone. Many people describe the same experience. They enter casually, they wander longer than expected, and at some point they quietly wonder why leaving feels harder than entering. This video is not about tricks or manipulation. It's about design, specifically how physical spaces influence how we move, think, and behave without us noticing. IKEA stores are carefully planned environments. Every turn, hallway, and shortcut has a purpose. Today, we're exploring how that system works and why it feels so effective once you step inside. This topic matters because IKEA is not unique. What happens inside these stores reflects a larger idea used in malls, airports, museums, and even digital spaces. It affects how long we stay, what we notice, and how comfortable we feel moving forward instead of turning back. Understanding this helps us become more aware shoppers, not suspicious, just informed. This video is for educational purposes and is based on publicly available information. We're not here to blame or accuse. We're here to understand systems. Because once you see how environments guide behavior, you start noticing the same patterns everywhere. And IKEA is one of the clearest examples. To understand IKEA, we need to talk about something called the Gruen Effect. The term comes from Victor Gruen, an architect best known for designing early shopping malls. The idea is simple. When people enter a well-designed retail space, they often lose their original sense of direction or intention, not because they're confused, but because the environment gently pulls their attention elsewhere. They slow down, they explore, they become more open to new choices. This effect doesn't force behavior, it encourages it. And IKEA's store layout is one of the most famous real-world examples of this concept in action. Victor Gruen was not trying to create confusion. In fact, his original goal was the opposite. He believed well-designed spaces could improve daily life. His early mall designs were meant to feel like walkable town centers, places where people could shop, socialize, and relax. Over time, retailers noticed something else. People stayed longer in these environments. And when people stayed longer, they tended to buy more. That insight gradually became a standard practice in retail design. The Gruen Effect became less about architecture alone and more about understanding human behavior inside structured spaces. IKEA didn't invent the Gruen Effect, but it refined it. The company studied how people move through large spaces, how they react to open rooms versus narrow pathways, how curiosity affects decision-making. Instead of open floor layouts, IKEA introduced a guided path, one main route, few obvious exits, clear forward motion. The idea wasn't to trap customers, it was to reduce decision fatigue. When people don't have to choose where to go next, they relax, they follow the path, and along that path, they discover more than they planned.
Most IKEA stores are designed as a one-way experience. You enter at one point, you exit at another. In between, you move through a series of showrooms, each flowing into the next. Living rooms become kitchens, kitchens lead to bedrooms, bedrooms open into storage solutions. There are shortcuts, but they are subtle. The main path is clear and inviting. This structure keeps momentum going. Instead of stopping to decide, you keep moving forward. That forward motion is key. It makes the space feel purposeful rather than overwhelming. One reason the exit feels hard to find is because it isn't visually dominant. Humans naturally move toward light, open spaces, and visual interest. IKEA places these elements ahead, not behind. The exit usually appears only after the full journey. By then, you've seen dozens of setups. You've imagined your own home in different ways. This isn't accidental. It's sequencing.
Each section builds on the last. By the time the exit appears, your mindset has shifted from browsing to considering possibilities, and that shift matters. Every IKEA showroom tells a small story: a compact apartment, a family living room, a student bedroom. These spaces are designed to feel realistic, not perfect, just livable. When people see furniture in context, it becomes easier to imagine owning it. You're not looking at a shelf, you're looking at a solution. This storytelling keeps attention focused forward. You want to see the next setup, the next idea, and that curiosity keeps you moving deeper into the store. One surprising effect of this layout is how it changes our sense of time. Without windows or clocks, external reference points disappear. The environment becomes self-contained. People often underestimate how long they've been inside. This isn't unique to IKEA. Casinos and airports use similar principles. When time feels flexible, urgency fades. You slow down. You explore more calmly. And that relaxed state makes decision-making feel easier, not rushed, not pressured, just gradual. And that feeling is intentional. So far, we've looked at history and layout. But now comes the most interesting part: how all of this works together as a system. Lighting, pathways, product placement, even sound levels. None of these choices stand alone. They interact. In the next section, we'll break down how IKEA combines psychology, architecture, and flow to guide behavior without saying a word. Once you see it, you'll never walk through the store the same way again. IKEA stores are not random collections of furniture. They function more like guided systems. Every section is placed intentionally. The path controls movement, but also mood. Wide areas create comfort. Narrow walkways increase focus. Open ceilings reduce pressure. Lower ceilings make displays feel personal. Together, these elements guide behavior without instructions. You rarely need signs telling you where to go. Your environment does that for you. This design reduces mental effort. When people feel less mental strain, they stay longer. And when they stay longer, they notice more details along the way. Humans prefer progress over backtracking. Moving forward feels productive. Turning around feels like giving up momentum. IKEA's layout quietly uses this instinct. The main path always leads forward. Corners reveal new spaces instead of dead ends. Each turn feels like progress. This keeps visitors curious instead of cautious. You're not asking where to go next, you're discovering what's next. That difference matters. Curiosity feels positive. Indecision feels tiring. By minimizing choice at key moments, IKEA keeps visitors engaged without feeling overwhelmed. Products in IKEA are placed where attention naturally slows, right after turns, near seating displays, at transitions between rooms. These are moments when people pause. Small items are often placed at eye level. Larger pieces anchor the room. Nothing feels rushed. You're encouraged to touch, to sit, to imagine. This placement increases familiarity. The more familiar something feels, the more comfortable it becomes. And comfort plays a major role in purchasing decisions. Not pressure, not urgency, just repeated exposure in a relaxed setting. Each showroom flows logically into the next. Living spaces lead to dining areas connect to kitchens. Kitchens transition into storage. This mirrors real life. Homes are organized this way. The layout feels intuitive because it matches how people already think about space. This reduces friction. You don't need to mentally reset between sections. Your brain stays in the same story. That continuity keeps attention steady, and steady attention increases time spent inside the store without visitors consciously realizing it. IKEA does include shortcuts, but they are optional, not obvious. This is important. Shortcuts give visitors a sense of control. You can leave early if you want. That choice matters psychologically. People feel more comfortable when they know they can exit. Ironically, this often makes them stay longer because the experience feels voluntary, not forced. The design respects autonomy while still encouraging exploration. That balance is one reason the system feels effective rather than frustrating for most visitors. After the showrooms, IKEA shifts the experience. You enter the marketplace. This area feels faster, more compact, more item-focused. By now, visitors have already imagined how products fit into their lives. The marketplace supports that momentum. Small items appear affordable, easy to add, easy to carry. This transition from inspiration to action is intentional. It bridges emotion and practicality. You've seen the idea, now you collect the pieces. This is where many unplanned purchases happen.
The warehouse changes the pace again. Tall shelves, open space, clear product labels. Here, the experience becomes functional. You're no longer imagining, you're executing. This shift reinforces commitment. By the time visitors reach the warehouse, they've already invested time and attention. That investment makes follow-through more likely. Picking up boxes feels like completing a process, not starting one. This final step turns browsing into action without requiring any direct persuasion. Many IKEA stores include food courts and rest areas. These serve a practical purpose, but they also reset energy levels. Eating or resting extends visits naturally. People don't feel rushed to leave. They recharge and continue. This isn't unique to IKEA. Large retail environments often include similar features, but IKEA places them strategically, usually after a major section, not at the entrance, not near the exit. They support the journey rather than interrupt it. Another subtle factor is repetition. You see similar products in different contexts. A chair appears in multiple rooms. A shelf shows up in different setups. This builds recognition. Recognition builds trust. By the time you reach the warehouse, the product feels familiar, almost proven. You've seen it work in different situations. This reduces hesitation. It's not new anymore, it's known. That feeling lowers the barrier between interest and purchase.
At this point, it's easy to assume something negative, that IKEA is trying to confuse people on purpose, but that's a misunderstanding. In the next section, we'll clear up common misconceptions about the Gruen Effect, what it is, what it isn't, and why it's better understood as design strategy rather than manipulation. This distinction matters more than most people realize. One of the most common misconceptions is that IKEA is trying to trick people. That idea sounds dramatic, but it's not accurate. The store layout isn't about deception, it's about guidance. Designers aren't hiding exits to trap visitors, they're organizing space to create a smoother experience. Large stores can be overwhelming. Without structure, people get lost quickly. The guided path reduces that stress. It gives people a clear direction. The result may feel subtle, but it's intentional. This distinction matters. Understanding design as guidance helps us see it as a tool, not a threat. Another misconception is that shoppers lose control inside IKEA. In reality, control still exists. Visitors choose what to touch, what to buy, when to leave. The environment simply reduces friction. Instead of constant decisions, movement feels natural. That ease can feel powerful, but it doesn't remove choice. This is similar to how sidewalks guide pedestrians or how apps guide users. Structure supports behavior. It doesn't replace it. When people feel comfortable, they engage more. That engagement is voluntary, and that's a key difference often overlooked. Spending more time doesn't automatically mean spending more money. Many visitors walk through IKEA and buy nothing. They explore, they get ideas, they leave. The longer visit increases exposure, not obligation. This is important. Exposure creates familiarity. Familiarity creates comfort. But purchase decisions still happen later, sometimes days or weeks later. The store's role is inspiration, not pressure. This is why many people return multiple times before buying larger items. The experience plants ideas. It doesn't demand immediate action.
Here's the surprising part. The Gruen Effect isn't just about encouraging spending. It's also about reducing stress. Clear paths reduce anxiety. Predictable flow reduces confusion. Organized spaces help people relax. IKEA's layout limits distractions at key moments. That calm state makes exploration enjoyable, not rushed, not chaotic. This insight changes how we view the experience. It's not about pushing people forward. It's about making them comfortable enough to continue. Comfort, more than persuasion, is the real driver here.
The exit doesn't appear early because it would interrupt the experience. It appears when the journey is complete, after inspiration, after selection, after decision-making. At that point, leaving feels natural, not urgent. This timing reinforces closure. You've seen what you came for, you've collected what you need, now you're ready to go. This sense of completion matters. It makes the visit feel intentional rather than abrupt, and that feeling influences how people remember the experience afterward.
The principles used by IKEA now appear everywhere, in museums, in airports, in digital platforms. Websites guide users through content the same way stores guide visitors. Scrolling replaces walking, sections replace rooms. Design still shapes behavior. The difference is scale. IKEA made these principles visible in physical form. Once you notice them, you start seeing them in everyday spaces. The Gruen Effect becomes a lens, not a label. It helps explain why some environments feel effortless while others feel exhausting. Online shopping uses similar logic. Clear pathways, suggested next steps, limited exits early on. This isn't about manipulation, it's about clarity. When users know where to go next, they stay engaged. Confusing interfaces drive people away. The same rules apply offline and online. Good design removes obstacles. Bad design creates friction. IKEA stores are physical examples of this principle in action. They show how space itself can communicate, guide, and support behavior without words. Once you understand these systems, something interesting happens. You don't become immune, you become aware. Awareness doesn't ruin the experience, it enhances it. You notice choices, you notice flow. You recognize when design supports you and when it overwhelms you. This applies far beyond shopping, to workspaces, public spaces, even homes. Design always influences behavior. The question isn't whether it does, it's whether we notice it. And noticing gives us perspective, not resistance. IKEA's layout reminds us of something bigger. Our environments shape our actions every day, often quietly, often invisibly, from how long we stay somewhere to how comfortable we feel. These systems aren't good or bad on their own. They reflect priorities, efficiency, comfort, flow. Understanding them helps us navigate modern life with more intention. Instead of reacting, we observe. Instead of assuming, we understand. And that shift changes how we experience the spaces we move through every day. So the next time you walk into an IKEA and feel yourself moving forward without thinking, remember this: you're not lost. You're following a system designed to feel natural, a system built around comfort, clarity, and curiosity. The exit isn't hidden. It's simply placed at the end of a journey. If this video helped you see everyday spaces differently, take a moment to share your thoughts. And if you enjoy learning how industries really work, consider subscribing to Industry File with David for more.